Good morning, everyone. Welcome, Roomers and Zoomers, to Orange Coast Unitarian Universalist Church. My name is Yulis Aiton, and I'm your worship associate today. Beth Syverson, our Director of Music Ministries, is off this morning. Reverend Judy, our Director of Religious Education, is with us in spirit as she holds religious education classes for children and youth outdoors this summer at Estancia Park. Our minister, Reverend Sean Wilshire, is not in the pulpit today, but she has a special message for you.
Hello, Roomers and Zoomers. So I'm away this week, but my spirit is with you. For those of you who are new to the church, maybe you're just checking us out or curious about Unitarian Universalism, welcome. Glad you're here. You are in for a treat. This is a wonderful, friendly, fabulous, just all-around spectacular community. I hope you can get to know them because it can be kind of tough to get to know a new community. But here's the thing, just hang in there, join in one of the activities, and before long, you'll get to know people, and then this becomes your church. Well, today we've planned a wonderful service for you, just blending music and word to bring together a helpful and hope-filled message. We hope it will feed your soul. So without further ado, let's go.
Our special guest today is Roz Esposito. Roz Esposito is a native of New Yorker, religious science minister, playwright, composer, lyricist, and a stand-up comic. Her original musical, Living Over the Rainbow, is optioned for a two-time Tony-nominated Broadway producer. Roz is hopeful that the success of the show will allow her to hire a private chef for her four-legged spiritual teacher, Cha-Cha. We also would like to recognize the many volunteers that have helped to put this service together today. You can see their names are on the screen. We respectfully recognize that our church property rests on Ahachiment and Tongva land. As Unitarian Universalists, we have many different beliefs, but we are one loving community. We are bound together not by a common set of rules or beliefs, but rather a covenant. A covenant is simply a promise that whatever our beliefs, we accept one another and encourage each other in spiritual growth. We affirm that all life has inherent value and that all existence is interconnected. We strive for justice and compassion in our deeds and relationships, and we are committed to creating a welcoming community without regard to the traits that sometimes divide people. To our roomers, we invite you to silence your cell phones. For our Zoomers, we invite you to say hello in the chat. I'd like to remind the roomers not to sing along, but to sway along, even though you see the lyrics on the screen. Zoomers can sing to their heart's content, and we will let you know when we can all sing. I want to extend a special welcome to visitors. If you are seeking a spiritual home, we hope that you will find it here. After the service, we will have an opportunity for you to introduce yourself if you like. Let our worship begin with the lighting of our chalice as we say our unison affirmation. Love is the spirit of this church, and so is its law. Dwell together in peace, to seek truth and love, and to help one another. This we affirm together.
Good morning. Good morning, Zoomers and Roomers. So yes, since you're in the room, and we do invite you to sway or stand if the Spirit moves you, and really feel the music as it moves through you. Oh, let me live in a holy practical. Is it not on? All right. Much better. But I think you heard me. Oh, Zoomers. I hope you heard us. Okay. So I'd like us to take a moment right now to turn within and just take a few deep breaths as we bless this service today. And if you feel comfortable, close your eyes and turn within and know that there is one power, one presence that is everywhere present, that is the guiding source of all life. It is everywhere in its fullness. It is right here inside me. It is right here in this room, expressing as each one here. It is right there in each one's home or wherever each one on Zoom is coming from. And so we speak a blessing for all who have come today to open their hearts, to open their minds, to receive a blessing, to open more to the fullness of who they are. I speak a word of thanks to all the volunteers and everyone who's prepared this sanctuary. I speak a word of love and blessing for Beth and Jan as they are on their vacation. I speak a word of blessing for Reverend Sean right where she is. And all those who are open and receptive to love in this moment. Speak a word for this planet and everyone on it, a word of peace. Where there is suffering, may there be light and love. And so I'm grateful as we move forward in our time together today. I'm grateful for the beauty of this service, for the love that is shared. And so in gratitude, I release this word, and together we can say, and so it is. I invite you to look at the words on the screen and also open your heart to the beautiful words of Ricky Byers Beckwith, who wrote this song. Pour yourself in me, pour yourself into my life. Oh, wonderful Spirit. Pour your love in me, pour your love into my life. Oh, wonderful Spirit. Ooh, pour your peace in me, pour your peace into my life. Oh, wonderful Spirit. Pour your truth in me, pour your truth into my life. Oh, wonderful Spirit. Pour yourself in me, pour yourself into my life. Oh, wonderful Spirit. Oh, wonderful Spirit. And now we're going to take a moment to turn within for a brief meditation. So if you would, open your hearts, close your eyes, and hold the idea, hold the principle of freedom. The idea that we are all free to express the divine as us, as the uniqueness of each of us. There's one power and one presence expressing equally in each one, each sentient being. And so ask you to open your heart to more of you, the freedom that was implanted within you to be all of who you are, to allow for all the places to express within you, all the love, all the desires, all the healing energy to stretch from within your heart to embrace your entire body, your entire life, your consciousness. That right where we are, this freedom is to be who we are. That is what we were born to be. So I invite you to allow more and more and more. And just breathe into that. Breathe into the knowing that you are so much more. And as you breathe and hold this principle of freedom, just allow yourself to take in the words of this song. I am free to be myself, to express myself, to be everything I am. I am free to be myself, to express myself, to be everything I am. I am free to be myself, to express myself, to be everything I am. I am free to be myself, to express myself, to be everything I am. And now with a few breaths, bring yourself back into the room and open your eyes and allow the energy of freedom to have its way with you. And good morning again. Good morning, Zoomers. We feel you, we see you, we know you. And good morning, everyone in the room, and how wonderful is it to be together again, right? How long has it been? It's kind of odd. I know when I've been spending some time with friends, I'm like, what is this? I'm going home. It's like, oh, I got to get back home. I know my dog wants me home, but anyway. Welcome, everyone. So Beth asked me to speak today, and I'm so grateful for that, if you're watching Beth. And because Beth and Jan both know that I have been writing a musical that is very powerful to me, and I will tell you more about that. But I want to also share with you how I got to this point, and I want to also bring some of those principles here for you, for whatever it is you are wanting and desiring in your life, in your deepest desires, in your soul desires that sometimes we don't even know until we see it in front of us. Oh, wow, that's what my soul has been yearning for. So you know how we get like little intuitions and little thoughts that kind of float by our consciousness? You all know that, right? We all get those. And some of them we say, yes, okay, that one. Some of them we say, I'm not doing that. That's not for me. And some of them we go, wow, that's all right, that's scary. I don't think I'm gonna. That would be great, but I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that. But we know in our spiritual teachings, we've learned that the how is not up to us. We couldn't possibly know the how of what our desires want. So we want something, we don't know how to do it or how it's going to come. We think we do because our logical mind gets in there and tries to figure stuff out. Anybody do that? No, I do it a couple of times too, a day or an hour. And you know, When I was going through practitioner training, one of my colleagues said to me, I was going through something and I was sharing it with her and I don't know what to do. I don't know. And she's like, girl, she just looked right at me. She said, girl, don't know nothing about it. Don't know nothing about it. And I was like, I just took a breath and I realized that I don't have to know everything. I'm a recovering know-it-all. Anybody else? Yeah. So I don't, it's a relief. Isn't it a relief? Any other recovering note? You don't have to share it if you don't want to. But it's a relief when I realize I don't have to know everything. Because back to those things that float into our consciousness or our awareness or our, intentions, right? We know as in our spiritual practices, we have intentions, we do affirmations. Anybody? Right? We pray about it, we whatever, right? Sometimes we beg, but we want things in our life, right? We want our lives to be good, relationships, prosperity, health, wholeness, right? So many things, our creative work, our life's work. And so ideas come to us, and some of those ideas, like I said, we say yes to, and they're easy to say yes to. Some of them, again, we go, wow, whoa, I'm not going there. So sometimes there's something that we don't really even know our soul is calling forth. But something outside us calls to us and somehow connects with that which our soul was calling forth that we didn't even know about, and then whoosh, something happens. Think of it this way. If you've ever fallen in love, across a crowded room, you know that song. You see someone and you're like, something clicks. A calling that you have for a deep connection connects with another person that's calling for that as well. And something in both of you is meant to be, right? For better or for worse. We've all been through them. So sometimes we come into a relationship and we have something to learn there. As my practitioner used to say, relationships are for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. So we're learning. There's something that is our medicine for us to learn. So I'm going to talk to you today about this experience I had, because when that happens and we notice it, we feel that calling. And we may not know exactly what it is because our logical mind gets in the way sometimes and we try to figure it out. But something comes to us and we have a deep connection with it. Anybody else ever feel that? Either an idea or a person or a creative endeavor? Yes, exactly. And I know your hands up, Zoomies. I know they are. That's what happened to me in 2008 when I opened the newspaper, which I hardly ever read, and I saw a picture in there of a young boy who had just been shot in his classroom by his classmate because he was effeminate and starting to wear makeup and heeled shoes. And something in me felt that this boy was reaching out to me, but something in him, in his spirit, reached to something in me, and there's not even any words for it. I felt like I had a deep connection with this boy. Never met him. But in a sense, what happened represented everything that I am passionate about. Human rights. I was hearing so much about bullying in schools, spirituality, which I'll get to. I didn't know I didn't know nothing about it, but I knew that something had pulled me. And so I'm also, as I'm telling this story, I'm encouraging all of you to allow something to bubble up in you that maybe has been calling to you, and maybe you don't know how to do it, because believe me, when I tell you what I did not know how to do it. I still don't think I did it. I still think it was downloaded to me. I think you understand that, or else they're going to take me out of here in a straitjacket. Or you're not laughing. Okay. No, I know you know what I mean. So anyway, I'll tell you what I mean. So I called this friend of mine and said, because we were talking about doing a documentary on something. I never did a documentary either, but my friend had all this equipment, camera equipment, and we were talking, wouldn't it be great if we found some socially responsible thing that we could go and do a little piece about? I said, we've got to do this. And so we went on to interview people and do some stuff. We couldn't really get to some of the major people because a trial was beginning to go on and they didn't want to talk to us. So the universe in the meantime was tapping on my shoulder and saying, this is a musical. I'm like, wow, whoa. I've never written a musical. I've written songs. I knew how to write scripts because a friend of mine, I was learning how to write scripts with her. Everything we're doing in our life has value somewhere. I had no idea I was going to do this. But so let me backtrack for a second. So at the time, I was writing songs and I was pitching them to Nashville to, have major artists sing my songs. I was really close. Oh, they really liked the song. But it didn't happen. And they really liked that one too, and it didn't happen. I felt like the door was halfway open, but I couldn't figure out with my logical mind how do you let the door? And I was doing affirmations. I'm a New Thought minister. I'm supposed to know how to do these things. But here's the thing. When we have that connection, when our soul's calling connects with that which is calling to us, something happens. Now, I could have said no, but actually, that's the other part of this. I could not say no. I could not say no. And believe me, there's plenty of things in my life that floated through my consciousness that could have been great, and I said no to. For whatever reason. Maybe I'll say I was too afraid. I didn't know how to do it. And I went, no. This I could not say no to. Have you ever had anything that you couldn't say no to? Right. You know the feeling. And I kept saying to people, I need help. I don't know how to do this. Call so-and-so, she's a mentor. They have a musical theater program up in Burbank, da, 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 da. Oh, you need to talk to my friend, oh, blah, blah. All of a sudden, whew, doors flung open. And at first, I was tippy-toeing into it. I was doing the exercises my mentor told me to do, writing stuff. And then I met a person, an actor in a workshop, just a personal growth workshop, who I shared about the musical. And she came up to me and gave me her card and said, I'm an actor and I would love to, if you do a reading or anything. And I'm like, a reading? Oh. Spirit just kept bringing people, opening doors. And I did a reading, and I wanted to run afterwards because I saw certain things that needed to be fixed. But then when I fixed those and did a second reading, one of the actors, and these were like, oh, I have a friend who's an actor. Oh, you should call so-and-so. And oh, da-da-da. So one of the actors came up to me and said, I know producers in New York. When you're ready, I'll bring it. I'm like, and if I tell you that There was no efforting in this. Can you recognize things in your life when you did something and you did not effort for it at all? Yes? But how much of the time do we effort for things? I was efforting when I was trying to get those songs to Nashville. I was efforting. I was hoping. Here's the other thing I was doing. I was thinking, is this going to be commercial? Is this going to be good for so-and-so? With this, all I knew is I had to do it. I had to do it. And like I said, I don't even, to this day, I feel like it was given to me. And a friend of mine said, that one of her spiritual teachers said, when something is given to you that's a blessing like this, and think about this in your life, the universe is deeming you reliable. The universe is deeming you reliable. And that took a big, I took a big breath after that and thought, wow, I get it. This I have to do. I just have to. Not have to, like, you have to take your medicine when you don't like the flavor of it. Like, I have to. My soul is calling for this, and his soul, or the universe, is calling to me. So about 6 months later, he called me and said, I'm coming to New York. I'm going to New York. I'm leaving today. I'm like, blah, blah, blah. He's in LA, I'm here. So I said, okay, I'll get it ready for you. He goes, just mail it to me in New York. So I mail him the script. He gave it to 3 people. Then he calls me and he said, oh my God, I was gonna give it to these 2 people. I ran into a guy I went to high school with, and he just produced Bandstand on Broadway. And I think he's even in your spiritual practice. He's a Science of Mind minister. I'm like, what? And like me, I mean, I'm not a pulpit minister, although I do speak at centers. But I studied for myself to inject into my creative work. So about a week, he said, yeah, I gave him the script. I slipped it in his bag. He's on his way back to Dallas. And I'm like, okay. A week later, I got an email from him that said, I just read your script on the plane, and I couldn't put it down, and I want to speak to you, and I want to help you in any way I can. So that was 3 years ago, and he's now optioned the show, and we're on our way. We've been doing more readings, because that's how you see what works and what doesn't work. We're looking to move this forward. First, a show goes to off-Broadway or a regional theater like La Jolla Playhouse or something out here or in Chicago, wherever, gets reviewed and then goes. So we've got our sights on that. But I want to say that when I first started writing this and people said to me, well, where do you see this going? I said, well, it has to be on the biggest stage because the story has to be told. Larry's story has to be told. So Broadway. And my close friends were like, yes. Some people that didn't know me so well were like, okay, Roz, okay. And I'm like, yeah. And again, it had nothing to do with ego. I was called to do this. Now, where it goes, if it makes it to Broadway, it has a life of its own now. So wherever it goes, I'm trusting. But if I tell you that every person my producer has spoken about it has been interested, because you have to put a team of producers together for something like this. And I will tell you a little woo-woo story. Can I tell you a woo-woo story? Okay, so I got some woo-woos here. early on, a friend of mine said, you need to talk to my medium. You need to see what this connection you have with this boy. And I said, okay. So I I emailed, and my friend Kim said to me, it might be a year waiting list. She's really sort of very well known. And so I emailed, and she emailed me back and said she'd put me on the waiting list. And 2 days later, emailed me and said, I just had a cancellation, and I think it's your spot. And I was blown away. In that session, Lawrence came and said, I will tell you, I guess I didn't tell you the whole story. So Lawrence was sitting in his computer classroom, laughing with his friends, and Brandon, there had been tension between the boys, and Lawrence had been being bullied by Brandon and his friends, and Lawrence was starting to fight back, like, give it to him back, right? And so Brandon walked in the room in front of everyone with a gun and shot Lawrence in the head. So when I tuned into what my story was going to be, what was the story I was going to tell about this? My story is about a 15-year-old gay boy who comes back from the afterlife to confront the boy who killed him. And it's really about what Lawrence needs to do on that side of the veil in order to move on. And it's what Brandon has to do on this side of the veil in order for him to move on. And it's really about what we all have to do in our lives here or there to let go and move on. So I'm grateful that I've been entrusted with this. And so what I want to say to all of you, if there's something calling to you, and it's really calling to you and it's strong, and you don't know how to do it, it's fine. You don't know how to be with it or in any way, find a place to say yes and allow the universe to come up under that and support you. Whether it's health, whether it's a project, whether it's a relationship, whatever it is, whether it's finances, to really allow ourselves to get our want back. Because a lot of us, I always say when I talk to clients, a lot of us have lost our want. What do I want to express? What is really calling inside me? What is my soul calling forth? Allow yourself to want something, because there's a lot of skepticism out there. There's a lot of negativism that we don't have to pick up on. So that's what I want for you today, to really open to whatever is calling to you. Take a risk, take a chance, say yes, and allow the universe to come up and be with you about it. So let's just take a breath. Let's just take a couple of breaths. And if you would close your eyes for a moment, I am going to sing something for you. We're still on here. Because there's light in each of you. We all actually are light beings. And we've got to wear this outfit to be here so we can see each other. Not this particular outfit, but our bodies. But a reminder that we are all light. Just allow yourself to feel your light body. close our eyes so we can really feel that we are not just this body. I am the light, I'm shining, shining so everyone can see, so everyone can see me. I am the light, I'm shining, shining so everyone can see me, everyone can see. I am the light, I'm shining, shining so everyone can see me, everyone can see. I am the light, I'm shining, shining so everyone can see, everyone can see. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Our Unitarian Universalist congregations are fully self-supporting, meaning that members and friends raise all funds for the operating budget, ministries, and programs of the church. We are ever grateful for your gifts of time, treasure, and talent. OCUUC amplifies that spirit of generosity by sharing half of the plate we receive with an organization that shares our values. This month, we are supporting Radiant Health Centers. Radiant Health Centers provides compassionate care for all, including free HIV testing, LGBTQ+ health services, and other specialized medical and comprehensive social services. There are multiple ways in which you can support the church and this organization. You can mail a check, you can go through our website, use an app called Give Plus, or if you are a roomer, you can place your offering in a basket as you leave the service, and the usher will come and pick the service today. The choice is yours. All the information is on the website should you need it. As always, thank you for your generosity.
Whoops, are we on? I've moved. So Beth asked me to play a song from the show, and I decided to play you this song because this is the first song I actually wrote for the show before I even had much of the show written, because I tuned into Larry and oh gosh, I didn't tell you my woo story. I'll tell you that real quick. Okay. So I did go to the medium, and she said that Lawrence said he would tell me everything that happened on the physical plane, but as far as the spiritual plane, it was mission accomplished. A reminder that somehow our souls are here. We're here to accomplish something, and we don't always know what that is. I also said to him, I don't know how to do this, and I was weeping. And she, through the medium, he said, well, we have a soul contract to do this. And more weeping. And he said, and others do too. And they will find you. And they have. My producer is gay, and he's black, and he was bullied as a kid, and he felt like his story could have been Larry's story. My creative team is amazing. I not just love working with him, we love each other. And I'm just continually amazed at all the people that are being drawn to this. And I told Terry, my producer, I said, I told him this story because he's pretty woo-woo too. And he said, I get that. So I learned something. We have soul contracts. It's pretty amazing. So back to the song. I didn't want to leave you out of the woo. Back to the song. So I thought, wow, Larry died so young, and he was so loving. When I went up to where he was living in a foster facility up in Oxnard. Actually, some of the people here, someone, sister-in-law or something works there. So it's such an interesting connection. And he used to just go around and sing Amazing Grace. He just used to sing. And they would say to him, you know, we love you, we accept who you are, but you need to be aware that there will be other people who won't accept who you are. And the thing that I love about this kid is it's the most beautiful thing and the most tragic thing, right? He wanted to just be who he was. And he was just going to do that. So there was an innocence, but tragically there are people, you know, out there that have issues. So this song I thought about, he's never going to get to love. He's never going to get to, you know what that is, to be with someone and have a relationship and love, because he died so young. So that's what this song is.
What's it like to love? What's it like to hold someone like this? What's it like to fall asleep in someone's arms and wake up to a kiss? What's it like to love? What's it like to want someone too much? What's it like to blush and tremble when you're close? And every time you touch, I wanna feel that, I wanna feel that, I wanna feel that. What's it like to love? What's it like to feel his skin on mine? What's it like to whisper words like, hold me close, and lose all track of time? I wanna feel that, I wanna feel that, I wanna feel that. I can almost feel it if I close my eyes, but that won't be my story, 'cause that story's over. But I will just imagine now. What's it like to love? What's it like to know you're more than friends? What's it like to say I love you, stay forever, and hope it never ends? I wanna feel that, I wanna feel that, I wanna feel that, I wanna feel that, I wanna feel that. What's it like to love?
I'd like to remind the roomers not to sing along but sway along, even though you see the lyrics on the screen. Zoomers, you can sing their hearts to content. Please join in swaying or swinging. We gather together, a song that puts our intentions into words and expresses our gratitudes for the many gifts we share.
We gather as one, for peace, love, and justice for everyone. We give from our hearts to show that we care. We can change lives with what we share.
Now is the time when we honor events in our lives. You are invited, one and all, whether you are a member, friends, or visitors, whether you are a roomer or a Zoomer, to participate in our weekly rituals of joys and sorrows. Perhaps you come here today holding something close to your hearts, moments from the last days or hours that have struck you at your core. I would like to honor such a profound joy or sorrow you are invited to do so. I would like to invite Marilyn Giz and Judith Stamper, our pastoral care team members, up here to join me. If you are a roomer, you can write your joy or sorrow in the slips provided and place them in the basket. If you prefer not to offer any details, you can simply write your name. An usher will pick up the basket in a moment. If you are a Zoomer, you can write your joy or sorrow in the chat or simply write, "Please light a candle for me," if you prefer not to share the details. Let us take a few moments in a spirit of silence as we play some music and the ushers retrieve the baskets.
I'll read the ones first that have come through the room here today, and you'll just go through the ones that have been posted in the chat for the Zoomers. This is a sorrow from Donald Martin. After 6 months in and out of hospitals, my brother Daniel will be coming home for hospice as COVID finishes him. And for Bonnie Wagner, a sorrow. I want to express sorrow for the building collapse on Surfside, Miami Beach, Florida. I live very close to that area. I had a job collecting money and distributing tickets for a fishing boat at Marley Baker's Haulover. And from my Fancy Kaiser, both a joy and a sorrow. A joy for all who have survived COVID, and for the sorrow for those who did not. And now Ulysses will read from the Zoomers.
Matthew has said, big joy. Alex Patterson and Matthew got married last night. Angie says, a joy. Thank you so much for the amazing sermon and the information. It's so powerful and needed. Alex says, a joy. Matt and Alex got married yesterday. Nancy says, congratulations to Alex Hayter-Winnett and Rika Covell, two wonderful brand new ministers who received preliminary ministerial fellowship on Thursday. They both have strong roots with us. Ralph says, happy birthday to Carol, the best lighting expert that he's ever known. Hannah says, grateful that Roz has shared her story and music with us today. So inspiring and heartfelt.
This is a prayer by Brian Keeley. All life is beautiful. And I'll have to let you know that one of the lines is, how could anyone, from a song. Spirit of life, if you have a lesson for us, it is that all life is beautiful. We are each born into this world who we are, tall or short, with our own color of skin, with our own sexual orientation. How can anyone ever tell us we are anything less than beautiful, anything less than whole? We pray that this nation and every nation will remember their duty to protect human life, and particularly the lives of the LGBTQ persons fleeing danger and death. We pray for those who are forced from their homelands and their cultures and their religions, not because of some fault or sin, but because of who they are, who are placed in grave danger simply for being the person they were born to be. We pray also for the enlightening of governments here and around the world, who with casual disregard for life would deport those refugees back to their unfailing homelands in near certain death. All human beings are born free, equal in dignity and rights. They were endowed with reason and conscience. May we all act towards one another in affirmation of our common humanity. And may we hold all the joys and sorrows expressed today and those that are silent in our hearts.
Let us join together as we extinguish the flame of our chalice and say together, we extinguish this chalice, but not the light of the truth, the warmth of our beauty, the fire of commitment. This we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Thank you for joining us this morning. We are a congregation made up of people who all believe differently. And yet, when we gather together, whether we are in room or on Zoom, we make up one loving community. We need not think alike to love alike. If you are a guest, a visitor, or someone who hasn't yet been known to us, I invite you to become part of this beloved community. We encourage you to either write in the chat or stand for a brief moment and tell us your name and where you are from. Welcome.
I'm Yvonne Kaiser. It's a difficult first name, so I don't mind if you just call me Ann. This is my husband, John, and we have been, we were going to view the congregation on Victoria Street. And then, I don't know what happened, but I wandered away, and now we're back.
Welcome back.
My name is David Hope. I used to go to a community, the UU community in Mission Viejo. It's a thriving community. That's what the one I go to. But today I'm adventurous. I want to adventure and visit another UU community. Thank you.
Welcome. If you'd like like to know more about our church, including programming for our youth and children, please contact us at hello@ocuuc.org, and we will help you get connected. In addition, we invite you to sign up for our weekly email called The Blast at blast@ocuuc.org. We want everyone to feel a part of this beloved community, so please reach out and we will help you get connected. After the service, we will have a short period where everyone, roomers and Zoomers alike, can wave and say hello and welcome any visitors. And Zoomers who remain will be placed in breakout rooms for 20 minutes or so for coffee and companionship. And for the announcement, we have a couple of highlighted announcements. Today, the Women's Circle will meet in Victoria Room at 12 to 2 p.m. meeting. You can also join from Zoom as well. And please save the date for the Wine Cheese Art Fundraiser featuring Isa Graves' sculpture on Saturday, July 17th from 4 to 7 p.m. And also, Roz has let me know that she has CDs that you can purchase, and you can sign up on her mailing list as well. And today, the RE teachers and parents are having a potluck for the children and for Reverend Judy's retirement at the Essentia Park after the service. If you'd like to stop by to wish her well on her retirement, please feel free to stop by at Essentia Park after the service.
So thank you all for being here today. I had just a wonderful time being here and with all the staff and all the members, so thank you. And we'll just take this moment to do a closing prayer. So if you would take a few deep breaths and close your eyes if you feel comfortable. And let us turn within again and just know that this power and presence, God, universal spirit, divine being, divine energy, the same energy that lights the sun is lighting all of us. It is the light that lives within us. And so we take what we have come here to receive today and we bring it into our lives and we bring it into our families and our loved ones. The energy of love, the energy of light, the energy of peace. And so I'm so grateful, grateful, grateful as we walk together in joy, in peace, and in harmony. And together we can say, and so it is.
Let us join in swaying or swinging our benediction song.
Be safe, be well, you mean the world to me. Be safe, be well, you mean the world to me. Be safe, be well, you mean the world to me. Be safe, be well, you mean the world to me.
This service is over. Let our service continue.